Welcome to the Wrestling Stable Show, where you don't join, you're chosen. Today is Wednesday, June 10th, 2020. On today's show, we're going to cover the latest from Carnyland from the National Wrestling Alliance. But first, we start off with highlights from last night's Impact Wrestling. Now, last week, we saw the finals of the tournament to crown a number one contender for Tessa Blanchard's Impact World Heavyweight Championship. Ace Austin had reached the finals against Trey from the Rascals, but Trey was attacked backstage and could not make it out for the finals. So we saw Wentz come out to confront Ace Austin. Scott D'Amore came out to the ring and he sanctioned this match with the winner to become the number one contender between Wentz and Ace Austin. Austin hit the fold on Wentz for the 1, 2, 3. This week's Impact Wrestling show started off with a triple threat match between the unbreakable Michael Elgin, the world's most dangerous man, Ken Shamrock, and Sami Callihan. At the end of the match, Elgin knocked Sami out of the ring with a back fist and hit the Elgin bomb on Shamrock for the 1, 2, 3. Later in the night, Scott D'Amore came out to address the future of the Impact World Championship. As we know, we have not seen Tessa Blanchard in many, many weeks. After he came out, all men who have claims to the world title also entered the ring. Ace Austin, who won the number one contendership tournament. Michael Elgin, who was originally slated to get a title shot in a triple threat match against Tessa, and who earlier in this night showed that he is still one of the top contenders by beating Sami Callihan and Ken Shamrock in the same ring. And then we saw the return to Impact Wrestling of Eddie Edwards. Now, he is that third man of the triple threat match that was originally slated for the Impact World title, along with Tessa and Michael Elgin. Scott D'Amore announced that it'd be a five-way match for the Impact World Championship. So Ace was really confused by this and, accused Scott of not being able to really understand numbers or math. And Scott said, that's basically fair. So Tessa Blanchard on Saturday night, July 18th at Slammiversary, the night where we are going to see at least one return or debut from all these promo packages that we've seen. We will also see in the main events Tessa Blanchard defend in a five-way match against Michael Elgin, Eddie Edwards, Ace Austin, and the man who was assaulted and could not compete in the tournament final, Trey. So it's great to see all these people finally get a shot at the title, including Trey, who was assaulted and taken out of the tournament final. So justice is there for Trey and the Rascals. In the main event of this show, we saw Jordynne Grace, who has not been able to defend the Impact title for the past 6 weeks, finally in action. In the main event, she defended her championship against the woman who holds the longest reign in Knockouts championship history, Taya Valkyrie. Taya was accompanied to the ring by Johnny Bravo, which is normal, and also the person she recruited earlier in the night to be at ringside along with her, Rosemary. Grace got the sleeper hold on Taya as Rosemary and Johnny Bravo were no longer paying attention to the in-ring action. They were only focused on each other. Grace got Taya to the mat and wrapped her legs around her, still with the sleeper hold on, and Taya submitted. After the bell, Jordynne Grace grabbed her title and got to her feet as the music hit for the debut of the virtuosa Deonna Purrazzo. Deonna extended her hand once in the ring to the Knockouts champion, and Grace, reluctantly, but she did, reached her hand back to Deonna, and Deonna quickly snatched her hand and in one fell swoop, dropped her down to the mat and locked on an armbar. Deonna stood over the Knockouts champion as her music hit again and Impact went off the air. If nothing else, we have a star in the making here in Deonna Purrazzo. I think she was in NXT for about 3 years, didn't really do much with her. So she is getting all of the opportunity to shine, making her debut, confronting and dropping the reigning champion at the end of Impact Wrestling show. So excited to see what the future holds for the Virtuosa. Next week on Impact, they've already announced some of the matches. we will see the North defend their Impact Tag Team Championships against the Rascals. Now, I think the Rascals earlier were talking about they had been the number one contenders like 13, 14 times and have fallen short each and every time. The North backstage earlier in the night reminded them that the North are the longest reigning champions, and they are probably going to defend successfully their tag team championships next week. We also see Rohit Raju, who confronted Rhino backstage. They're going to go one-on-one next week. Ace Austin renews his rivalry with Eddie Edwards as they go one-on-one in a street fight. And TNA Original Supermax laid the challenge, and it was accepted to Moose for the TNA World Championship. So 2 title matches, well, if you count the TNA World Championship, which I do, set for next week. Next, we move on to the National Wrestling Alliance, where last night we saw episode 3 of Carnyland. Now, we have started the race for mayor of Carnyland. Only one member of Strictly Business will run for mayor, but we saw the campaign messages for Thomas Latimer, Camille, and Royce Isaacs. Royce didn't have much say in the message that they put together and was kind of blown away, but the rest of Strictly Business are super excited about it. And we're in the primaries. The top 2 vote getters will be able to run for mayor of Carnyland. Eli Drake delivered his campaign address for those who believe in the shoes of a champion. We also saw the campaign videos from the reigning World's Television Champion, Zicky Dice. Josephus, as a writing candidate, since he's not an active member of the roster. Aaron Stevens, NWA Women's Champion Thunder Rosa, and Esther Addington, who has a striking resemblance to Allison Kay. Danny Deal showed up to Nick Aldis's place to help the world's champion decide who from Strictly Business should run for mayor, as we see Aldis's campaign message. Aldis seems convinced that he should represent Strictly Business and is going to win the election for mayor. Voting is now open to all Carnyland citizens. All you have to do to become a Carnyland citizen is sign up on Patreon. Next week, we will see who will drop out of the race for mayor. And that is our show for today. We'll be back tomorrow with another episode. Thank you for checking out Wrestling Staple, where you don't join, you're chosen.